to the Skin Talk. And today we have our guest hosts, Marina, Mike, Dan, your California Dr. Gross skincare team in California. Hello. And today we have a very, very special guest from Southern California. We have Dave.
Hi, my name is Dave Toscano. You can find me on my Instagram at DMT West Hollywood. That's at DMT West Hollywood. I'm an account executive for 17 Sephora stores in LA, San Bernardino, Bakersfield, and San Luis Obispo County.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for joining us today for an interesting conversation.
I'm excited.
We're here for it. So today it's going to be about self-care favorites. What are you loving? Topic of the day. We're going to talk about a cheating scandal. Woo! Myth busting about consumers and what they're reading, and an interesting Ask the Panel about a particular skin type. So without further ado, we will begin with our self-care favorites. And what are you loving? So this is going to talk about what are we loving to self-care for ourselves, whether it could be a plethora of things, actually. So we're just to dive into it. And Dan, why don't you start us off?
All right. Well, Happy New Year's, everyone. So one of the things I've been thinking about is I do so many steps for my face, but something I really have neglected are my teeth. You know, I brush my teeth every day and I use mouthwash, but you know, I really, there's so much that I do for my face that I haven't really done for my teeth. So I went out and I got this. It is a water pick. So it's water flossing, really simple to use. There's also a little compartment in there that you put a little tab, like a little tab thing that helps to whiten your teeth. So I literally just started this 2 days ago, noticing a huge difference in my teeth already. And, you know, I'm not a regular flosser. I really hate it. You know, I don't want to say how often I was doing it, but this, they say it's like 99%, effective, like flossing your teeth, and it is approved by the Dental Association. So this is my little self-care water pick I have.
I love that. Who doesn't love a guy with sexy teeth?
Yeah, exactly.
That smile is everything. That money maker. So are you loving it so far? What have you noticed differently?
So I definitely, well, I would say I thought my teeth were looking a little skanky. And I've had them whitened in the past. I've had them whitened like maybe 3 or 4 times. I find it very painful. But yeah, it's messy for sure. So you have to practice your yoga. You literally I'm bent over with my head in the sink because it's water going in and out of your mouth. So it can be a little messy. Depending on your bathroom, at least I have a deep sink. So it's okay for me to do that. It doesn't take very long. I actually fill it up. I kind of do one side with my head tilted and then I move it over, fill it up again, and I do the other side. But yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm very excited to see in 2 weeks if it does whiten my teeth because I love my coffee. I love my red wine. So yeah, so hopefully 2022, I won't have skinky teeth.
Would you consider yourself an expert, or could you perform this on somebody else?
You know, I probably could perform it on somebody else. There'll be a fee associated with that, Dave, so.
And that's okay. So I need to go pick that up. If you are having amazing results after 2 weeks, I think I know what my next purchase will be.
2 days. 2 days.
2 days, you saw a difference?
I saw a difference after the first day. It was you know when you can blow air between all your teeth after you've gotten your teeth cleaned?
Yes.
Yeah. So it was.
Ooh, that's satisfaction. I love it.
And you know, in these COVID times, we're not going to our regular doctor's appointments for the most part. I have not seen the dentist during this whole period because I'll take any excuse not to go. So this is,
Quick solution for you.
Are you doing
yeah,
it twice a day or once a day?
once a day at night I do it, but I will say, so all my years working in, for plastic surgeons, the number one thing I would always hear from people is that they wish they took better care of their teeth. From an elderly clientele would say that all the time.
Well, you guys start now. Thank you, Dan. So, Mike, what are you loving?
A long time ago, I used to have Western Canada as an area where I used to go a lot. And it's a funny story. So basically, because of a snowstorm, my hotel had gotten canceled. So I got moved to this like really kind of poshy kind of hotel in Calgary. And then when I went to go do the shampoo and conditioner, it was like literally one of the best shampoo conditioners I've ever used. So I wrote down the company. And ever since, I've never kind of deviated from that company. So, but they do have a new purifying shampoo. The brand is called Molten Brown. And basically they have a purifying shampoo, but instead of using like a lot of really harsh ingredients or anything like that, and I'm not saying like it's some kind of clean brand or anything like that, but instead of using those kind of ingredients, they use like Thai jasmine. So my purifying shampoo and conditioner right now has Thai jasmine in it. So it's just a really good, sensory experience when you shampoo and condition. But on top of that, my scalp is smooth and my hair I keep getting compliments on my hair because it does a really, really good job.
So you get the sensorial effect, you get the results you want. How does it leave your hair feeling?
Soft, and like if I don't blow dry it, it still goes in the same position or however I want to like style it. But I use a lot less styling products now because my hair is more pliable to however I want to style it.
And what does the aroma smell like? I'm curious.
It just smells really good. It's so crazy to say it, but like once you smell one of their shampoo conditioners, you won't turn back. You'll be like, oh my God, this stuff is amazing. It's not exactly the cheapest product out there, especially when you're like comparing it to whatever you can get in Target or even Sephora. It's more expensive than probably most of the stuff at Sephora, to be honest. But if you order it on their website, that you get good discounts and then it starts dropping in price.
We love a good discount.
Discounts.
Thank you, Mike. Marina, what are you loving?
Well, lately I've been very dry and very red. I'm very sensitive due to stress, not enough sleep. Something is going on with my skin. So what I've been doing is using a rose quartz roller to give me a self massage in the morning, 5 minutes with my favorite serum. So that helps give me back the radiance and glow. It stimulates collagen, so I look glowy and plumping. I do 5 to 10 minutes, depends on how much time I have in the morning, but I love doing this.
What's one of your favorite techniques, or what's a technique that you can show the audience?
Sure. So I do really, really simple. I take my serum, apply it all over my face, neck, and around the eyes. I start with my forehead using this and just roll it. And it's very cold. You could also put it in a refrigerator to make it more colder. So I do 3 times on the forehead, and I do 3 times by the eye, and then I work my way down. But my face looks plumpy. I don't get puffiness, give you healthy glow. Very simple. Just go upwards.
Are the
Oh my
different
God.
stones supposed to do different things? Like I know there's jade, I know there's rose quartz. Like, is there any like special property in it that does something?
So rose quartz is good for hydration and good for sensitive skin. And then they say jade is really good for anti-aging and firming. So that's stone.
If I cry while watching The Notebook, but I'm 35 and want to look young, should I use both?
Yes. 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Rose quartz in the morning, jade at nighttime. I
can't wait till we're able to give each other facials and Marina gives me one. These last segments. Thank you, Marina. All right, Dave, I'm interested to know what you are doing for your self-care love.
You know, what I've been really into is the Sephora sheet mask, and I really love this pineapple one because it's pore perfecting, and I know you can't see any pores on my face. No makeup, just 10 layers of skincare. It's smoothing, so I'm trying to smooth everything out. So yeah, I just love doing masks, having some wine, listening to a Carly Rae Jepsen song, crying, being like, why didn't he call me back after the first date? You know, the normal.
Just one of those nights, a
Yeah.
casual night.
Well,
But
nowadays,
how does it feel?
well, nowadays, if they don't call back on the first day, it might be COVID.
It's true.
The newer times, right?
Yeah. And that feels great though. It feels like cooling, refreshing. I like that it's throwaway, just like my boys. You just put it on and throw it away. Easy, cheap, like my men, very cheap. Trying to use a coupon on a first date, I'm like, bye. Embarrassing.
Oh my gosh. Well, we love a good little secret on what we can get on the cheaper end and effective. Doesn't have to be expensive. So, gotta go pick those up if you are interested in a little quick pick me up. Thank you, Dave, for that. Well, what I'm loving is actually what's been helping me sleep. I used to go and get a lot of melatonin and to help me sleep. And I didn't like how it made me feel in the morning. So I've been using Alpha Apothecary Sleepy Time Roller. It has valerian root, jasmine, chamomile, lavender, and CBD oil. And the CBD oil mixed in with all the other ingredients really helps to relax me, especially when you put in the lymph nodes and on the temples. Wait 10 minutes. It allows the ingredients to work, and then you're ready for bed. And I've not turned back. I've not used melatonin in a long time, ever since I started using that. So if you're looking for a healthier way to go to sleep rather than taking melatonin, that will be a great suggestion in my opinion, because I get the best night's sleep every night.
Does it have like a strong smell to it? Because you know how sometimes, like, I don't know if someone's put on cologne and then got in bed with you and you're like, oh my God, you need to go take a shower.
So the valerian root you can definitely smell, but the jasmine helps to calm that down. So I get more of a floral outcome of the scent, and I can't really smell the valerian root too much. It's pleasant, it's not overbearing. I put a lot on of what they recommend. You're supposed to do one. I do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I massage it in, but I don't think it's too overbearing. If you were to sleep next to somebody, I don't think they would mind. So thank you everyone for your input on our self-care favorites. Remember everybody, you're worth it to take care of yourself. So start by picking up one of these things that will fit for your lifestyle. Moving along, our topic of the day is going to talk about a cheating scandal. Have you ever cheated on your skincare routine? Now, I have to hear Dave's story on this one. Give me your take on it.
Well, when I am feeling like a pimple is coming on, or when I can see it, my favorite product is the Kate Somerville Eradicate. I really think it's tried and true. I really believe in it. It's not the most expensive thing on the market, but it really works. Another brand talked me into trying something that they had. I won't tell you what brand and I won't tell you what product, but they said I can either put it on the spot or as an all over mask. So I put it on for about 10 minutes, which is the recommended time. At that time, I was like, something doesn't feel right. It's kind of burning. So I wash it off. My whole face turns red like the brightest tomato you've ever seen. I had to wear drag queen makeup for 3 days, and I don't even wear makeup. 3 days of full-on drag queen makeup to cover it up so I could still work and function. And I will never try that product again. I won't ever stray from it again. Whenever I'm doing a facial or a makeover, I make the best recommendations. And if a client says, can I do it for like $10 cheaper? Or what do you have that's like this, but a knockoff? I'm like, I don't do McDonald's skincare. I don't do McDonald's makeup. So I'm not here to save $10. I'm here to get the right product.
I love that. I love that. Because we're
I
all
have a
thinking.
question. Sorry to interrupt. Dave, do you think that you had an allergic reaction to one of the ingredients? Is there something in there that you...
No, it's a brand that focuses on percentages of things. So
Okay.
I read reviews and many
Okay.
had the same reaction. I was like, this
Wow.
needs a caution label on it, or this needs to be rebalanced. Because it's not about the percentages of the ingredients that you put in something. It's about cocktailing it with the right stuff to pH balance your skin.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
100% true right there. We need to be balanced, not unbalanced. Thank you, Dave, for that amazing information, because I was living for when I was writing the outline. Don't go McDonald's cheaper, y'all. Stick to what works. Dan, I want to hear what your take is.
All right, guys, I have to say, I am very loyal to my skincare. I do not stray from it. Anybody who's ever lived with me, anybody who's ever traveled with me, I bring like half of my suitcase is my toiletries. I do have quite sensitive skin, easily irritated skin, but I do not care what kind of day I've had or how early I have to get up. I always do my routine. And because if I don't, I know that I will see the effects of skipping it or cheating. I also don't really try out products. You know, I'm very loyal to what I use, what I like, what's good for my skin. So, you know, yeah, I'm a little angel. I don't cheat.
Oh, love that. But do you try new products to see if it can work into your regimen, or?
Usually no. Like honestly, like it has to be from a brand I really respect and that I've tried in the past. But like, you know, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was getting products and somebody gave me something, and just like Dave, like it burned me. And I just like, people give me stuff all the time and I just say like, thank you. And I typically give it away, or I flat out tell them I don't want it, you know, like, thank you, I appreciate it, but it's going to be wasted on me because.
Have you ever thrown a product in the trash? I threw that thing in the trash. I was like,
I just
see that.
like.
Thank you, Dan. We all need a moment. Mike, take me down your path. Have you ever?
I mean, we've all walked into a store, saw some flashy little light, saw some magical message and said, oh yeah, sure, let me buy it, see what happens, right? I've done it. I think when it comes to skincare though, and now I just take the time, instead of just being caught up by the gimmick, I just turn the label over and start reading the ingredients. And then, you know, usually someone in the store will be like, oh, that'll work for that. And I'm like, really, what ingredient does that? Like, I always just challenge people in the store, because a lot of times whatever's new in front, right in front when you walk into a store, that's the focus item, and that's what they're going to try to, you know, make you buy. But I think for me, it's just easier to try to stay regimented, because then when an issue pops up, then you can go find the fix it for that specific issue, and you can know that it wasn't your regimen that caused it, right? Like if you start introducing too many new things, you're gonna start having issues with your skin. You're not gonna know what caused that problem. So I'm kind of big about like taking baby steps at a time before I start introducing something new. But there's I always say there's like a list of brands I just won't even touch anymore, just because I know that either their ethics or what they put in their products or how they built their products. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't need to get near any of
You kind of have a running checklist.
Yeah, it's in my head, not on paper though. Everything's in the head.
Mike, would you say that you have a burn book?
Completely. I do have a burn book of like makeup and skincare brands. You have no idea. Like I've actually had brands with concealers that gave me pimples underneath my eyes. Can you believe that that's actually possible with a concealer? Like, are you kidding me? What did you put in it?
What didn't they put in it?
Not really.
Okay, let's stop. Thank you, Mike, for that detail. So it's good to have a little mini burn book in your head for yourself. You know it works. Marina, have you ever cheated on your skincare routine?
Always. So I do I do have a suitcase full of products as well as like Dan. I am skincare junkie. I'm always willing to try something new. I do my research by looking into ingredients, but one thing I like to do is get some sunshine and not using sunblock. So I always looking for something to treat hyperpigmentation that I start seeing since I'm getting older and everything coming to the surface and I see a lot of sun damage. So I get in the winter a laser facial, and I definitely looking for ingredients that help with hyperpigmentation. But I still like the sun.
You can't get away from the sun, huh?
No.
Well, what's that laser treatment? Tell us a little more on that.
I have done Fraxel, but that's a little bit more abrasive, and my skin is sensitive. I like Clear Brilliance from Laserway. I think it's more gentle and is more effective. I do it once a year, a couple of sessions in the winter when the sun is not that strong. And I get more clarity, I see. But unfortunately, years in the sun, it just coming to the surface.
So everyone wear your SPF now.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Marina, for that. And for me personally, I don't cheat. Just we all have those longer nights where we forget about her a little bit, and we just have to make sure when we wake up, we take extra care of ourselves after a longer night. So I wouldn't say I cheat. I just I forget about her just a little bit. But I do make sure I peel my life away the next day to exfoliate, get all that gunk out. I will do a hydrating mask to rehydrate my dehydrated self. But yeah, I don't normally, so.
Your skincare's in the bathroom being like, don't you forget about me. Don't.
Is what they're always saying when you're strolling into the room and you're like, bed, wash face, bed, wash the face. So
I'll just say something. I had this roommate and she was so much fun, but you know, she was a late night sort of person, but she would come home and she would like use all her products. She would self-tan. I mean, she would be like belligerent, putting on her tanner on her legs, doing her neck cream, you know, but like I was so impressed because I would hear her, you know, like, and I was like, wow, that's like when I come home, I still wash my face no matter what. And maybe I'll just do like the 3 basic steps. But she was like full on, like tanning her legs, doing her neck cream, body lotion, like she did it all.
That is dedication.
It was like muscle memory or something with her. It was amazing.
I love it. Thank you all for your take on the topic of the day. And I hope you don't think about cheating on your skincare routine at home because your skin will pay. So we are going to move on to Mythbuster, where we all hear this when we are in store. The Mythbuster is consumers can believe in all the marketing, and promises made by every product. So let's have our guests take that one.
You know, I have trouble trusting two things, cosmetics and men. You know, I like products that do what they say and say what they do. And I like guys that do what they say and say what they do. So I never believe anything until they've proven it to me. So I like brands that have been around for a healthy amount of time too. It's stood this test of time. It's tried and true. It has great ratings and reviews. You know, no flash in the pan for me.
So how would you talk to somebody that says, "Oh my gosh, I just saw this in Vogue and I need this. It's for me. It says that it's 100% going to give me my luminosity I need."
I'd be like, honey, they paid Vogue to put that in there. I hope you're enjoying their commercial.
And that Photoshop.
Yeah. I know skin, I know makeup. Like, you just have to play with it, and then immediately, probably within the first 5 seconds, you're like, no.
So you gotta learn to trust your man and your product, right?
Yeah, it's true.
And that's a good partnership. Thank you, Dave. So, Mike, I'm interested to know what you think.
Well, I mean, we kind of, if we're going to talk about advertising, we should talk about the history of it, right? So back in the 80s, America weakened its truth in advertising laws. So back then, you couldn't advertise about pharmaceuticals, you couldn't advertise about political campaigns, things like that. And they weakened it just so they could pave the way for those companies to come through and start advertising. That's why you see all these pharmaceutical commercials here, and you don't see those in Canada or other places. So I typically will say, if it comes to skincare, I'll look to see if the company has done like a third-party clinical study, because then they've actually tested the product, not just like, oh, here's a consumer study. We tested with 3 people. That's probably in our corporate office. Like, okay, great. That's not going to help me. And then I also, when I used to have Canada, it was the funniest thing. I would go up there, walk to the store in Sephora, and find out how many products didn't make it on the shelf in Canada because they have strict truth in advertising laws. So for example, if you say your product has an SPF of 30 broad spectrum protection and it doesn't meet their standard, you can't shelve it. Same with makeup, same with anything. So I used to travel up there, walk around, and go, okay, well, I am buying that, and that company's a liar. Da, 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 da. So it was a little easier back then. Nowadays, I think for Americans, it's really important to talk to an expert and not just try to make these decisions on your own, because it's basically like the wild, wild west in cosmetics in America right now.
That's true. You always want to do your research and not believe everything someone is telling you, or a packaging in that matter. And we always learn something with you, Mike. I didn't know that about the commercials. So
I bring the education.
Mike did the Wild Wild West dance from like the Wild Wild West.
I think that aged you. That's an old movie, isn't it?
I'm 35. I said it. No lines, no filler, nothing.
History. So Marina, what's your take on it?
So I think consumers are now more very savvy in the ingredients, and they don't believe in everything they read. They do looking for personal consultations. They go, they're just more into knowing how and why and what ingredients. So I believe it's not as effective as it used to be.
And how would you recommend someone, if they did come to you and was believing everything, how do you talk to somebody?
Well, first of all, you find out what is their concern, what are they trying to do, achieve with their skin, and then explain the ingredients. And, maybe it is a good product, but I don't get that many questions like this anymore.
Because they are becoming more savvy, thank God. So it's a little more easy to talk to when they do know a little bit more than just what the name of the ingredient they came in looking for. And we'll have to teach people how to read an ingredients list in the future. I think that would be a good one.
It'd be like an ingredient dictionary.
I'm still looking for one. Well, I know there is one, but something that's easier to travel with or accessible.
There should be an app for that.
I was just about
Yeah.
to say that. All of us, let's do it.
Mikey better patent that idea.
There probably
Maybe.
already is one. Let's be real. It's just crappy.
And make it better. We can make it better. So thank you everyone for that. I think that's really important for anyone watching. If you are one of those that love to read the packaging, do a research on yourself. All right, so next we're going to go into our last segment, which is Ask the Panel, where we get a Instagram question from our IPO profiles that Dan has gone over, and it's an amazing questionnaire that anyone who loves skincare that wants to participate is more than welcome to. DM us. Dan can definitely send you a questionnaire. But today we have a question from @WaxandTheCity916 from Sacramento, California. How do you treat dry acneic skin on mature clients? So this is a question that she's received from a few of her clients during these recent months and wants to help her clients out in her area. So Marina, why don't you start us off?
All right. So, yeah, it's very common, and I hear it now more often, that mature skin breaking out in some spots. And I think it's due to wearing a mask and, having that section close of our face. I think it's very important to do gentle exfoliation on a daily basis and wear in the day oil-free products. Try to stay away from any fragrance in foundation if they are using foundation.
Perfect. And would you say oil-free is still good for that drier client?
Yeah, just looking for the ingredients with the hyaluronic that adds water and keep it clean, but mainly think you want the skin to breathe, but it will give you enough moisture during the day.
Perfect. That's a great tip because I think a lot of people that are dry don't think of that. So yes, thank you, Marina. Michael, why don't you give us your take on it?
I think the first thing you want to look for is an acne treatment that has some kind of hydration properties. And in Sephora, currently, there's only 3 out of all the brands that they carry. That's a hydrating acne serum. And then the next step you want is you need a percentage of salicylic acid that will actually attack the P. acnes bacteria. That's around about 1.5 to 2%. And if you take that into account, then you only have 2. So it's a really interesting situation in the market because there's only 2 companies really making anything geared towards mature skin that has acneic problems. What my recommendation would be to do for someone who has mature skin is get one of these acne serums and really make sure to do a hydrating serum with it in the morning. And then at night, make sure you have some kind of retinol in your regimen so that way you can get that kind of treatment at night as well. But you don't want to use your acne serum twice in a day. Once is enough, and let it just work its magic. The other thing, maybe take a look at your water and is it treated in your area? Is there a lot of calcium in the water? Is that because California is known for that? And think about that because calcium can help create blockage in the pores that would then, warrant a breakout too. So it's really important to look at the balance of all of that.
That you brought up a great point too, in just the whole kind of circumference of what we need to pay attention to. And I love how you said, don't do acne treatment twice a day, once should be enough. And especially if you are on the drier side, you don't want your skin to think it's even more drier. So that might cause some more issues down the line. Perfect. Thank you for your expertise, Mr. Mike. Now I want to go over to Dan.
All right, this is interesting. I just had a client who that was going through exactly this issue. So I always like to ask, like, what are you using? Typically, this client is using something that is a little bit on the harsher side, maybe products that are designed for teenagers who have oilier skin. So I always ask what cleanser I try, and usually I do recommend to change it, something that's to pH balancing, that's not stripping the skin. So many cleansers strip the skin, leave it, oil-free, red, raw. But my number one pick for this particular clientele would be using the steamer. So just steaming the skin would help bring that hydration without having to use oil. Plus, it would help purge any sort of breakout that's active and lying underneath the skin. So that is a great way to make your skin really plump, hydrated without dumping a ton of oil onto the skin. So that would be my pick. Good.
And that's a great tool too, especially being dry and then the acne. Would you recommend maybe going into the steamer with an acne treatment and massaging it in, or for someone that's dry, or would you do it separate?
For me, typically, I really like to keep my steps separate. So I'm like a cleanse your skin, then steam, then move on to your products. I know some people kind of like to mush them together. I'm very loyal and regiment. I don't cheat. So I like to keep things very structured. But yeah, I mean, there are some products you could use with the steamer as well. But like I said, I feel like you overcomplicate things when you're trying to tell a client that, because some steps you're introducing this to, and if you're using some products while steaming, they may use all products while steaming.
That's a great point too. So be like Dan and just do it step by step. And now, Dave, I want to hear your input for this question.
Well, my whole thought would be kind of like a combination of everybody's is first, I would say acne is different for everybody, and dry skin can be different for everybody. So I would say get to know your client, meaning like ask a lot of questions, like ask, where are you dry? When are you dry? Show me physically on your face. And is the acne a actual whitehead, or is it just congestion, meaning like bumps or clogged pores? Because I would want to know that. Then I would want to know what steps are they currently using, kind of like Dan said, like what kind of face wash, what kind of serum, moisturizer, eye cream. Sometimes you hear people who wash their face with water and they're like, yeah, I wash my face every day with water. I'm like, that's not washing your face, that's rinsing or splashing water. I'm like, I'm worried for you. I'm going to say a prayer, play a Madonna song for you. But yeah, I would try and get to know the client. I would ask, are they drinking a lot of water? Are they eating water-rich foods like cucumber and watermelon and tomatoes and melon? Because they're dry, but like there could be something internally as well as physically. And are they exfoliating? How often are they exfoliating? Is it gentle? Is it chemical, physical? Are they wearing sunscreen? Is their sunscreen physical? Is it chemical? I just want to get like a real understanding of who the person is before I recommend anything to them. So if you're not asking at least 5 questions, you're not doing your job.
Right? We have to always ask those questions. We have to get to know the person, get to know our client. Not every client's the same. Right? So thank you, Dave, for that, because I 100% believe whatever you just said, whatever Dan said, Marina and Mike, I agree with everything that you all said to help our Ask the Panel question. And for me, I'm taking a little bit from the myth busting and bringing it back into Ask the Panel. I want everyone to know who are dry, acneic, and mature. Don't believe all the online reviews for yourself. These online reviews are not going to help you because everyone is different. Every skin is different. The age difference is always going to be different as well. When giving reviews, it's an age range. It's not necessarily giving you specifics. So don't go by the online reviews. Do a little deeper research and don't go for that high percentage of acne fighting treatments, because that is more beneficial for someone who's younger, more oily. When you're more dry, we're lacking oil, remember. So you don't want to unbalance your skin when you're on the drier side. So that's my
self-diagnose. Don't self-diagnose. That's the
don't
biggest.
WebMD yourself, okay? And I think that is a great tip in itself right there, Dave. Well, thank you everyone for your input on that. I hope we helped Wax in the City with her question for her clients. And just for her reaching out with a question, she will be receiving a DG swag bag. Yay! So that will be in the mail shortly, so expect it. And thank you for that question. And if you want to send a question, again, it's at IPO Profiles on Instagram, DM, and submit a question and we'll answer it with our expertise and our honesty. Honesty is the best policy. So without further ado, is there any last words? Dave, you want to shout out to anybody, anyone? Your people.
I want to shout out to Carly Rae Jepsen. If you're watching this, call me maybe at DMT West Hollywood.
Oh my gosh, you've been such a joy, Dave. I'm living right now. So Carly Rae Jepsen, please call him, not maybe, just call him. Dan, Mike, Marina, any last words?
Be safe, everyone.
We're close to a vaccine. Don't risk it.
Do self-care, take time, and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. And on that note, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourself. You're worth it, and you're always worth it. So till next time, everyone. Bye.